Hello everyone, and thanks for tuning into the Financial Investor channel. My name is Brent, and today I'm going to be going over some updates to my website. Now I'm going to make this quick so that you guys don't sort of snore off. Now I'm going to start off with my important information first. So I did make some major updates to my website. Primarily is the resources page, my my portfolio, my dividend income, and I believe I did add some strategies as far as what are my strategies. They do need to be tuned down a little bit as far as prettied up, but those are my strategies and I'm sticking to it. So I do have my daily portfolio snapshot up here. So these are all the stocks that I'm currently invested in, what they're what they went up or down in the last days. So a couple of them kind of even out there. Got a lot of positive, got a lot of negative, but not too worried about that. Next, I did update my portfolio, so everything here is up to date. You can see that Lowe's was my new, I bought a lot of stocks on Thursday and Friday. I finally got my funds in, so that's when I did a lot of my money buying. So I saw a lot of stocks really low that I've been wanting to grab for a while. I was able to grab Lowe's as a 2.25%. So you can't really get Lowe's on a 2.5. So if I go over here and go to Lowe's, you can see that they have a 2.22% right now. Now if they drop back down, then you might be able to get them at a 2.25, but you basically get your yield by, let me bust out my calculator here. If you want to get your current yield, so everything that I have here, my buy price is what I bought it for, what I have averaged down for. It's not what the current price is trading for right now. So a lot of these yields, you're not going to be able to grab these unless you bought them when I bought them. So I bought 93 shares of AT&T for $36.32. You take that dividend that you're paying you every year, 1.96, you divide that by the buy price that you bought, what you bought it at, and then you times that by 100, and you're going to get a yield of 5.396. So that's basically 5.4% yield. So these giant yields, like Verizon's another one, you're not going to get 5.25 right now because they've gone up a little bit. They're considered a buy right now of Verizon and AT&T. So I did average out at a 3.45. I'm going to be adding maybe one or two more stocks. It really depends. I don't want to have a giant portfolio, but I want to have enough that certain sectors will not fall. Like I do have a lot of technology and consumer and a couple of healthcare and energy. I would like to have something other than those specific sectors. I mean, these are great companies and these are great sectors to be invested in. Healthcare, once the healthcare reform maybe happens, I think this will even continue to grow even more. So let's continue on here. So other pages that I made updates to were my dividend income. I didn't get invested or started with dividend investing up until this year, so a lot of my past 2015, 2016 was very low dividend income. It was mainly growth stocks. So I owned Facebook and Amazon back in 2015, and I made a pretty good profit off of my 15, 16 years owning Facebook, Amazon. I had a couple other ones I can't think off the top of my head, but those are my two primary ones. And let's go ahead, and then this year, of course, I started dividend investing back in March of this year, and that's when I started to look at it a little bit more. But I was only invested slightly, so I am going to be heavily invested in dividend stocks from here on out. So you're going to see that my total is going to be jumping up over the next years to come. So next page is my strategy. Now, of course, my number one rule is that I always pick stocks that pay a dividend where the current dividend yield is higher than its average dividend yield. So if I go and take a look at Lowe's on my chart information here, let me go pick up my charts, Y charts, and I look up Lowe's here, low, and I check out its dividend yield. You're going to see that its yield greatly outweighs its current price. I mean, that you can see for the 3 month, you can see that the yield is way the heck up here and its price is way down here. So that means that it's currently undervalued. So that is a definite buy, especially, you know, that's just the first piece. Well, that's my first rule is when I'm looking to buy stock is it passes this rule. If it passes this rule, then I will start going over my next rules and move on from there. So let's go ahead and go to my resources page. So this is something I spent a lot of time on updating. It has all my investing routes. So I have Robinhood, I use Acorn, Stash, all my best reads. Rich Dad Poor Dad was probably one of the first investment books that I purchased and read. This was in high school back in 2001, 2002. I think the book came out in 2000, and I read it during my economics class where we were doing, you know, stock market investing. We had $10,000 and we had to pick, you know, the teacher gave us a list of 10 to 20 stocks that were really popular back then, like McDonald's and Field and Stream or some other stocks. I remember going back there, and the whole part of our class was to remember numbers, and you know, it was basically investing, but it wasn't with real money. I continued to read Rich Dad's Guide to Investing. I currently picked up The Intelligent Investor, and this is one that I'm currently reading. I haven't really finished it all the way, but I'll let you know how that goes. And Bailout Nation caught my eye. I added that on here. That might be my next read because, you know, we're going to be going through a recession maybe here in the next coming years. We don't really know when it's going to happen, but, you know, recessions come every 8 to 10 years, so we're due for one. I do have my online income. This isn't all of the routes that I take for online income. I do have my InMotion hosting where I host all my websites from. My two primary ones are Financial Investor and BBMe Games, and I host them all through InMotion hosting. Now, domain-wise, I buy my domains at Namecheap. You always want to check out Namecheap first. Sometimes if you sign up with Namecheap, you can get a free domain and a free WhoisGuard with your purchase of a hosting service. So it's usually a lot cheaper on Namecheap, but InMotion hosting, it never fails me. All my websites are up, you know, 100% of the time, or they'll let me know when they're doing some service. Money tracking, I use Mint. Mint is a great one. It's a free tool that pulls your financial transactions from your bank account, so you can sync it to, say, Chase, and it automatically categorizes your spending, and you can create a budget on there. So you can say, okay, you know, I have $100 for you know, movies and fun, to $400 for food per week, so $400 total for the month, and it really budgets out. It's like the Ramsey guide. Dave Ramsey, I think was his name. Top free investing sites. So these are all websites that I use that are completely free. Have YCharts, Dividend.com, Drip Investing, FinViz, and Financial. Now, I haven't showed off Financial in a video, but I'll go ahead and show that off really quickly. You can see that if I type in a ticker symbol in here like Verizon, it's going to load up the stock score, and it's going to say whether it's a sell, a buy. It's going to show its current score, and it's going to go over a 20, you know, you can do 26 week, 52 week, and kind of do different things here. And below it'll show you some of the news that's came off with it. So the score of Verizon is 54, which is 8% above its historic median score of 50. So it is above its historic score of 50, and it infers to a lower risk than normal. And it gives you a couple of information here. It's really nice to read. You know, I take everything with a grain of salt. So if you look up something on here, it says a buy or a sell, don't always believe it. Always do your own research. That is with everything that you can find on the internet. Always do your own research, because in the end it's going to be you that either makes a gain or a loss. Okay, so next is our stock information. This is lots of investors' opinions and use. So Seeking Alpha, Monthly Fool, Google Finance, Yahoo Finance. You're going to see a lot of posts out there and websites that offer other investors' opinions. So take, again, everything with a grain of salt. I use Yahoo Finance for a lot of my screenings, as far as going over summary, their financials, and other information. I might use Seeking Alpha to look up some information that maybe somebody typed themselves on a specific stock. But, you know, I take everything with a grain of salt. And that is it. Go ahead and check out my resources page. I spent a lot of time on this. If you guys haven't used these websites down here at the bottom, go ahead and check those out. Let me know what you think in the comments below. That is it for this video. I want to thank everyone for watching up until this point, and if you liked the video, to hit that like button and to also hit the subscribe button for future financial videos. I'll be putting out videos almost every day or every other day, and I try and keep it interesting and fresh. And if you have any questions on any of the videos, or if you have a question in general, please leave it in the comments and I will always reply. I want to thank you for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Bye.